I've recently come to the realization that the older we grow, the more difficult it becomes for us to really have a good time. The more difficult it becomes for us to really enjoy our life. The more difficult it becomes for us to really be impressed by the things around us. And this stems from a certain sense of familiarity. That is one aspect of it. And then on the other hand, um, a lot of distractions. We usually say kids are distracted, um, but not by so many things simultaneously. A kid can be playing this particular thing at one moment, and the very next moment they're distracted and they switch over to another thing. But for them, they usually have just the one thing in their mind. The one thing on their mind at any time. But for adults, that's usually not the case. And this distraction, along with a lot of other factors, um, makes it very difficult for humans to really have a good life, to like really enjoy their life. Especially those of us who work 9 to 5, that's like 8 hours plus knocked off our day, leaving the remaining time to rest and a lot of other responsibilities that come with adulthood. So we are so overwhelmed by these responsibilities, and the time is so short that uh, for some of us, it becomes like having a good time becomes like just another work that you have to make. Or even if it's not work, even if you have designed it in a way that um, it will help you to like do some activity that you enjoy, um, there is still the other responsibilities that you have, the other distractions, quote unquote distractions, they will still be running at the back of your mind, at least to a certain degree. And usually it takes a bite out of whatever leisurely activity you planned for yourself. So I'll give an example. I recently went to the Niagara Falls. I live in downtown Toronto. I've been here for almost 3 years. 3 years. And it's only recently that I went to Niagara Falls, despite really um, looking forward to it and planning and, like preparing my mind to be impressed, to be struck by a feeling of awe and reverence when I look upon when I look at the Niagara Falls, because I know it's a very big fall, and so on. Some features of nature like that usually elicit feelings like awe and so on. But when I went there, my immediate reaction upon seeing the fall for the first time was, oh, so so that's it. Uh, I wasn't impressed. I was like, um, what I'm feeling right now as I look at that fall is about the same feeling I have when I'm walking down the streets of Toronto and I look up at the 50 plus story building towering over me and feel insignificant in the presence of it. you know it's over, like the very fact that it's so big, so overbearing, like high in the sky like that makes it impressive. So I was like, hmm, this waterfall that I've looked forward to for almost 3 years, have I been waiting just to have it uh like make me feel about the same as when I do just walking down the streets of Toronto. Anyway, fast forward to a few minutes after arriving, I approached it. I came close before I realized there were actually two of these falls, and the one that I had seen before, the one that I had seen as soon as the one that I had first seen was the smaller one. Yeah, when I came closer, it began to look slightly more impressive, but not to the extent to which I expected it to be. At least the second one was really massive. We took a boat cruise and went very near the fall, and I was impressed by it. Yeah, but it was not as much as I thought it was going to be. And usually when we picture going on vacations, oh God, it feels so much nicer. I don't know if this is just me, uh, but I think to a certain degree it happens to most people. When I picture going on a vacation, it feels like paradise. It feels like I'm going to have the most beautiful feeling that I can possibly have. And then that day comes and I feel like that day comes and then it just feels like any regular day. I still have to get up, take a bath, take a shower, order my Uber or whatever means of transportation I'm using, think of what I will eat, think of my budgeting on that day, think of if I'm leaving the house late for that place or that activity, and when I should be coming back, and if I'm forgetting anything in the house. So you're flooded at any time, you're flooded with a lot of other things happening around you that um the main object of the day, the thing that you are looking forward to the most, these distractions take a bite out of it, and you don't enjoy it just as much as you thought you would. Because when you close your eyes and you picture yourself on a vacation, all you see is yourself, maybe walking in barefoot in the sun, sipping uh mojito or whatever, and looking at the sunset, admiring the sunset. Yeah, you don't see all the planning, all the, flight booking or Uber booking, or the expenses that you're going to incur on that trip, and every other thing. Yeah, as an adult, we have so much going on. We have, like for some people, it will be a mortgage. We have, our finances. When you're doing 9 to 5, you are very concerned about if you're saving enough money to retire comfortably and so on. You'll be thinking about, eventually starting a family and the responsibilities that come with that. It's a heavy financial endeavor. And so all of these considerations will hover over you like a dark cloud. It's going to follow you everywhere you go. When you want to pay for a service while on vacation, if you're not a person that follows a budget that gives you a certain degree of comfort with spending, if you're not following a budget, every time you pull out your credit card to make a payment, you're going to be haunted by this sense that you're maybe overspending, or you have to make sure that you're not spending too much. Um, yeah, because there's a lot of other things you could have done with that money. So there's opportunity cost for almost anything. Like, let's say you have work, you'll also be thinking, oh, Monday, I'm also going to resume work. You'll be thinking, I need to go back early enough so that I can take a shower, rest, so that on Monday I'll have energy to do my work. So there are so many things that distract us from having a good time. And this led me to a certain counterintuitive advice. Most people say when you're on a vacation, it's good to like put your phone away and enjoy the experience of that vacation. And I have an issue with that advice. Sometimes the pictures of certain experiences actually makes the experience more fun than uh, the actual experiences. So to explain this, sometimes when I pick up my phone and look at pictures of some, maybe let's say vacation that I went, the feeling of looking at those pictures, of admiring them, of imagining or at least remembering that experience, that feeling, right? The feeling of doing that is usually better than the feeling you get when you were actually experiencing those things. So the memory of certain events is usually better than those events. Yeah, so when you look, those pictures are like the memories. When you look at them, you think back to those experiences, and when you think back to those experiences, it makes you more, it makes you enjoy those experiences over and over again, even though they're already in the past. Without those pictures, yeah, you might remember the day from time to time and it'll make you happy, but nothing beats like taking good pictures and keeping them and then coming back to them and viewing. We are at the 10-minute mark, and I think it's a good place to start. Um, sorry, it's a good place to stop. Today has been a slow day. I'm just giving a recap, by the way, of this video. Today has been a very slow day. Slow in the sense that I don't really feel good about this video. I don't feel like my communication skills are advanced from when I recorded the last video. Yeah, but it's too early to base my progress off, the difference between two videos created at two different times. It's a long road, and I am willing to work it and to give it my best. So, to recap, I just realized I didn't give a quote unquote solution to this thing that I'm saying. So, um, this video has been about the fact that as we grow older, it becomes more difficult for us to really have a good time. And after everything I've said in this video, I believe we can have a good time, but we have to be intentional about it. A simple example will be have a budget and follow your budget strictly. When you do that, as you go out to have a good time, to spend, to enjoy, you will operate within, those boundaries that you set with your budget, and you will not need to think, you will not need to like do some cost benefit analysis of experiences. You will just focus on those experiences and pay the money. You will not, think if this will hurt your financial goals, your saving goals, and so on. You not think about any of that. So you will not have those distractions that usually distract us from having a good time. Yeah, so I hope this helps you a little bit. I am sharing this mostly because I want to become a better speaker, a better communicator. I want to be able to articulate my thoughts very well and, communicate them. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.